Hi, I'm Alexi Pukanigan, and we're balling today, tomorrow, and most definitely yesterday at what cost? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 24, Week 21. Class is in session. We have Matey here. New upgrades to the setup. We got a little whiteboard here action now. So if I am in the mood to drop a little knowledge on you, well then I can go ahead and do that. Just in case you want to still keep up with what's going on and everything like that. But this is going to be my first go at trying to incorporate the whiteboard into the whole system. But here we are, balling at what cost. And might I say, things are happening. Things are definitely happening. Last weekend, Prince of Monaco, Charles Leclerc, finally being a Monegasque citizen and being in Formula 1 for a while and fucking getting the pole in Monaco more than once. He could never win it, even though he got on pole. And finally, curse has been broken over the weekend in Monaco. What was it? 93 years since the last time a Monegasque driver won at home. First time in 93 years. He does it, fulfill his dreams. You know, he was always chasing this win. He's always knew that he could win there, but somehow it never lined up for him. Now the universe, the stars aligned for him, and now it's all good, and it's amazing. He fucking sensational performance. But with that being said, no, I'm sorry. My McLaren 1-2 prediction did not ultimately hit. There's no 1-2 from the McLaren. Although I will say this, you can't say that I was far off either. Because I kind of called that Red Bull were going to be dog shit. And after the race, at least on Sunday, their results didn't look too good. And McLaren was right up there with Ferrari. If Leclerc would have had a bit of more, if he would have struggled throughout the weekend, could have been Piastri who won the race. And if it was for Sainz, also, it could have been one way or another. Norris could have maybe fucking gone the win or gone it from above Sainz. So I wasn't that far. And the McLaren in itself is getting better and better. Ferrari could be there too. Or Ferrari and McLaren both getting better. Red Bull not getting better. And they're just staying the same. That's my prediction so far. I know Monaco is a bit of an outlier when it comes to what kind of lap it actually is, but I'm telling you, there's real potential here. The Red Bulls were behind on pace the whole weekend, and you know, after the weekend, guys, I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. This is no regular season, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually shaping up to be a very, very interesting season because within one race, Sergio Perez, who was first at before the Monaco, he was in third place of the Drivers' Championship. Now the guy has fallen down to third. Third. He was third. He fell down all the way to fifth. Carlos Sainz picking up a spot to P4. Lando Norris is right now in P3. And Leclerc is in P2 and not ridiculously far away from Verstappen. Before it was, like 2 DNFs plus, if theoretical, if Verstappen had 2 DNFs and Leclerc won both races, then they would be kind of caught up. But right now, it's looking like, let's just say if Leclerc is somehow up there and one step ahead, just like literally as long as he's one step ahead of Verstappen, every single round going into the last race, this could be a title fight for the first place, genuinely, between Leclerc and Verstappen. Norris is a little bit out of reach, in my opinion. Because also you have to keep into account that Oscar Piastri is just fighting hard as hell too. So like Monaco, people were like, okay, yeah, but Norris just won in Miami, and that was a street circuit, and he's driving it out of his mind. He's really in tune with his car. But people forget, so is Oscar Piastri, dude. Like, what he's doing right now is just insane. It's his second year, and he's like pretty much fighting for the win in races already. It's just absolutely mental. Let's just go past it. Let's just move. He's 21 years old or something. It's chilling. From Australia, it's chilling. He's the new phenom, all right? So he's going to be relaxing, at least for now. I think, like, in terms of the Drivers' Championship, he's down at 71 points compared to all the top 5 guys who are already well above the 100. So I think he's kind of out of the question when it comes to, but Oscar Piastri obviously ahead of like the 2 Mercedes, George Russell and Hamilton, and are far away from Fernando Alonso and the rest. So Piastri also having a fire-ass season. I will still continue saying this, that Oscar Piastri win. Let's put this up on the board. Ladies and gentlemen, up on the board right now is Alexei Pukanikin official prediction into further deeper into the 2024 calendar season of F1. But I'll just write this down real quick. Oscar Piastri wins in 2024 season. Bang, we wrote it up there. There it is. It's up on the board. Maybe I'll do a thing where like every single bold prediction I have for this season, maybe I'll like write it over here and I'll just keep it there, just so I can like stick with my word. I know I usually when I call out something like that, I remember it, but it's just like visually, so I don't have to remind myself or go back to the podcast bit. I just check it out there. But anyways, that was a great idea. Oscar Piastri win in 2024 season. That's why I'm still saying he got a solid ass P2, split the Ferraris in Monaco, and his teammate is Lando Norris, and then he's fighting in between fucking Leclerc and Sainz. It ain't no easy job, but he's making it work, which is fucking amazing. So that's how the Formula One is looking like after Monaco. Either way, shout out to Ferrari, shout out to McLaren for really, really making, like, they're really giving this season potential to have a lot of excitement, which I'm myself very freaking excited for. Let's move on from Monaco, okay? That was the Ballin money. That right there. That was the podcast in itself. Monaco, Ballin. At what cost? Leclerc been there every single year, just balling. But he never, like, the cost of it was that he never got the fucking P1. Now, fully into spins it back after a lot of work, a lot of discipline. Ballin' at what cost in Monaco, baby, last weekend. Boom. That was beautiful. Also last weekend, before we skip through anything, or the week, it was the conference finals. Conference finals in the NBA are going down right now. And I was like, oh my God, I thought I had it. I was like, man, they're going to be intense, back and forth. Game 1 goes to this team. Game 2 goes to the other. They're going all the way to Game 7. Nope. Timberwolves versus Dallas Mavericks 3-0. Pacers versus Celtics 3-0. Celtics are the ones who are up 3-0. Mavericks are the ones who are up 3-0. I mean, Timberwolves, more like Timber puppies. Anthony Edwards is the next Michael Jordan? More like the next freaking Blake Griffin, dude. All you're going to be known for is just freaking dunking on posters and being a ladies' man. Come on, Anthony, give me something. Seriously, we were all just, I bought it up. You should be fucking tied up right now. Not even tied up. It should be at least 2-1 right now. At least 2 up to you guys. 2-1 up to you guys, it should be, theoretically. Because it started off with you 2 games in Minnesota. Damn, man. Damn. Fuck, man. The Timberwolves might just get swept. And I don't even want them to get swept. But right now it's looking like that because the 4th game is going to be played in Dallas. What? And Celtics. Let's go get on to the other side, the East. Celtics go against the... Celtics are pretty much just floating their way into a finals. Basically, just because of the misfortunes of the Pacers. Like, they're so... Like, because the first game, right? Let me say this. The first game, it was in Boston, and the Pacers were playing pretty well, and then technically they should have won the fucking thing, but then Jaylen Brown hits a 3, takes it to OT, Celtics beat the Pacers in OT, right? And that would have been like a huge game for the Pacers to win. First game in Boston too. Like, they should have had that. Misfortunes. Bang. Celtics win in OT. Then you go to game 2. Okay, game 2 was a little bit more one-sided. Celtics beat them by 16 points. So that one we can't really argue. But then you go to game 3. That happened yesterday. Yes. Okay, so actually it was Saturday night. Pacers go against the Celtics. Pacers, honestly, Pacers drew up a play to tie it up to OT. It was actually a good play. Although the ball was going to be inbounded from like the Pacer side, as in like technically the Celtics defensive side. They drew up this like NFL play pretty much where they were all stacked up on the other side of the court where the ball isn't, but then they just like snap the fucking ball, and then just freaking, it's like 3-4 receivers and then one like trying to do a little screen / or whatever misdirection type of thing. And it actually kind of worked. The Celtics didn't really know how to fucking defend it. And then this one Pacer kind of got a freaking open look. I forgot which Pacer it was. Kind of gets an open look. Gets the shot, hits the rim, misses. So that was also like, if he was kind of open for the shot. He could have made the shot. It could have been no T. Who knows how it goes. So honestly, I think this is very different. There's 2 3-0s. I have to admit it. Either way, it's 2 3-0s. But 2 very different 3-0s. The Pacers Celtics one is more just like Celtics are kind of like, they're like, dude, we shouldn't have won that, but we pull it off. So let's fucking go, dude. And then Dallas Mavericks versus Timberwolves. That's just big dog eats little dog. Like, so far, that's out. It's just Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving just fucking balling. At what's the cost? They don't even give a shit about the cost right now. Mark Cuban's fucking out of there soon. Okay, they're doing this. Just this is it. They got a ball. Right now. Luka needs to win his first chip right the fuck now. And really, the way they're playing right now, I know Celtics, they play very smart basketball, but dude, I know the Mavs play smart basketball, plus they're just so tough, man. They play with such aggression. They make the big shots. It's just like Kyrie in the clutch. Oh my God. You just let those 2 do their thing. That's it. And I know Mavericks got like crazy good other players, but like right now, dude, I'm pretty sure they've dropped 2, like the first and the third game both Luka and Kyrie both scored 30. Ballin at what cost, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to write this down. NBA call out right now. Luka Doncic, finals MVP. They're winning the freaking ring. All right. Luka Magic. Finals MVP 2024. First ring. Bang. And watch. I'm gonna go to the extent he drops a 40+ bomb. He drops a 40+ bomb in the finals. Bang, bang. There's 2 call-outs right now. I apologize for the handwriting, but to be honest, isn't that part of like the whiteboard whole thing? It's just the handwriting is like, I don't know if you can actually even see the whole writing right there. It might be a little blocked. Guys, I'm figuring this out, okay? One thing at a time, slowly, making improvements. But yeah, Luka Magic, I've seen all that I need to see. And listen, there's just statistical things like no team has ever beaten the other team like reverse swept, at least in the conference finals. So it's truly like as much as I would want these games to still go to game 7, statistically is most likely not going to happen. So let's just call it at that. Let's just say, honestly, just for this episode, let's say, do we still have a little space here? Maybe we have some space here. Let's do it. Let's go. Mavs win series. I can see it going game 6. 4-2. And then Celtics win series. I think this is going to be a 4-1. There you go. There it is. Freaking second picks going in for the NBA. But that's how I'm feeling so far. Yeah, Shaq and Kobe equals Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. So it's pretty much game over, in my opinion, in the basketball world. But okay, we can still keep up with it. All right, just for the entertainment's sake. But big stuff is happening this weekend, okay? It's the UFC 302 in Newark, New Jersey. And let's just, the storyline is Dustin goes against the Daggy. Dustin versus Dagestan. That we've been through similar narratives, but we finally made it here. But before we get there, let's see what other crazy fights are happening in the main card. First off, Randy Brown. Randy Brown, savage striker, really long limbs, very precise, and also well-rounded too. Knows how to submit, knows how to grapple. He kicks off the main event. And to be honest, Randy Brown is really underrated. He's 6-1 since 2021. Like, he's 6-1 his last 7 fights. The only loss he had was to Jack Della, Madalena. And we all know about Jack Della. So Jack Della is like, elite, probably going to be future champion. But Randy Brown, not bad at all. He goes against this Brazilian guy that's been around since like 2017 or something like that. And the Brazilian fighter seems pretty well-rounded too. What was his name again? Just so I give a name drop. Eliseu Zaleski dos Santos. But yeah, dos Santos has had quite a lot of fights in his career. 31, 38, 32 fights. Randy Brown is at 23. And yeah, I think striking wise, I don't know. Either way, I think if they do stand up, Randy Brown, he's a sniper. He really has a lot of power, very effective. So I'm picking Randy Brown to win this fight. Let's just say third round TKO. That's my opinion. Next up, we have, surprise, surprise, I didn't expect this, Jailton Almeida, the number 7 heavyweight, going against Alexander Romanov. And Jailton, this fucking savage was fighting in March, dude. He was in 299. And then now it's 302. He's back in again, dude. This guy is for real next level. Although last fight he went against Curtis Blades, and Curtis Blades unfortunately kind of exposed the holes in Jailton's game, man. Jailton known for being a very powerful, dominant grappler, right? That will submit you. But he has a few TKOs. He has a TKO or two. It's not like he doesn't know how to strike, but I still think there's a very clear, like, there's a lot of very, very elite strikers in the UFC, and once he matches up against one of those, then it's just a real bad matchup for him. But now he goes against Alexander Romanov, who is a little bit more well-rounded in the sense that does submit, does have TKOs and knockout finishes. Jailton's a little bit different. He prefers the grappling, the submission, the kind of the dominance on the ground, and tries to avoid the striking. But when he does, I mean, shit, man. I just really think that he just has to be more careful about his takedowns, and that's that. I mean, I still don't doubt his abilities once the takedown is like completed, but up until that point, he got to be careful, right? Like, if he does initiate like striking exchanges, then don't get clipped, bro. Like, because that's all you need. It's the heavyweights now, you know. He barely got clipped by Curtis Blades, and that stunned the shit out of him, and he ended up getting finished. So I'm saying the same thing. Romanov might not be as high level as Curtis Blades, but all he needs to do is clip you a little bit with that freaking Moldova paw of his, right? And that's pretty much it. So still very, very interesting matchup, heavyweight matchup. Second fight of the main card. Third fight, we got Kevin Big Mouth Holland going against Mikhail Alexiejczyk. Yeah, that's hot. Yeah, I think I nailed that. Kevin Holland, a legend, super nice guy, never disrespectful, good energy, brings out the vibes. And at the end of the day, when he is in the octagon, he is a purebred entertainer. And that's where this matchup is a little weird, because Mikhail, striker, known for his striking, very stand-up boxing type of style. Kevin Holland can do that if he chooses to. Like, it's up to him, man. If he really wants to, then, because he's honestly had those fights where he knows he can grapple someone, and that would be his, martial art advantage. But he's just like, well, that's boring to watch. I'd rather just put on a show, so let me do this other thing. And that's how I see this fight going down. Could Kevin Holland try to just go for submissions and probably submit him within 3 rounds? Probably, in my opinion. But just because of the build, too. Like, Kevin Holland is long and slim. Mikhail is a little bit more of like 3 inches shorter. He might be a little bit heavier in weight, but still, like, the reach. Kevin Holland's got 7 inches of reach on top of him. So I'm just saying, but either way, that just gives Kevin Holland more of a reason. Well, I could just beat him striking too. Like, I have further reach. Like, why? He believes in his striking abilities too. And I do personally myself. But if Kevin Holland wanted the win, just a clear win, clear finish, fast finish, go for submissions. But I do believe both gentlemen are savages, are going to try to knock each other out, get the performance of the night type of thing, or fight of the night type of vibes. So, Kevin Holland, put on the beautiful show. Whichever way you please, I'll be watching it. Either way, that's as simple as that, man. That's as simple as that. I'm not going to be doing no call-outs. It's a Kevin Holland fight. Just watch it. That's all that matters. You don't need to know who wins or who loses, all right? So then we roll into the co-main event. Now, the co-main event is a middleweight bout against the number one contender in the middleweight division, which is Sean Strickland, former middleweight champion. And he goes against Secret Juice, number 7, Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa, arguably the most shredded, most ripped, most handsome guy in the UFC roster. That's his whole thing. He's just a handsome motherfucker who's jacked as shit, who everybody just, their mind gets blown, the fact that he's a middleweight. Like, there's no reason he should be a middleweight, but he somehow gets the cut done every time. He's a middleweight. He drinks the secret juice. Hey, bro. That's real good stuff for you. But they go against each other. Both strikers. They're both strikers. They both like striking. They're both Sean strikers, more of like a pick apart, bam, 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 take you down, like little by little, chip away at you. Paulo Costa, more just powerful kicks, just bombs, bang, bang. But it also means that he's a little bit more prone to counters. And Sean Strickland, very, very skillful with counterattacks and likes to stay active. Paulo Costa, a little bit, he has such a big weight cut where it's just like he can't necessarily be all 3 rounds just 100% of the time active, just initiating everything. So this one's going to be interesting. I really do think it's going to be one of those classic Sean Strickland put on the pressure, don't let you breathe type of things. But then again, Paulo Costa is dangerous enough and skilled enough where if he lands that one big shot, it could do a lot of damage that you won't be able to walk away from. But Sean Strickland, Sean. So here's the thing, guys. And I'm not trying to sound gay or anything, but I'm gonna go in the cage with this muscular Brazilian. And yeah, he probably looks like a male model, but look, I'm not getting paid to get hard. I'm getting paid to be hard. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be fucking hard as a rock. And I'm just gonna go in. Again, still not trying to be gay, but I'll just beat the shit out of him. You know, I'll freaking, not to sound gay or nothing. Again, I respect women and everything. So here's the thing, guys. Anyways, Sean Strickland, one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, just because he is himself and he doesn't give a darn about that. He isn't necessarily he doesn't care about the fame. It's just he has the attitude that he shouldn't be in this place to begin with. So I like that. Of course, everything he says a lot of stuff. He likes to go on rants. That's his thing. But still got to respect it. Trains his ass off every single day. So how can I hate? So if I had to call this out, I'm going to go say Sean Strickland unanimous decision win over Paulo Costa. But of course, man, anything can happen, of course, in the sport of UFC. And the main event is the perfect example of this. So we go into the main event. And it is the fight for the 155-pound lightweight championship of the world. Islam Makhachev, the current champion, goes against Dustin Poirier, who's actually ranked number 4 in the lightweight division, but, you know, he's arguably the number 1 contender in one way or another. Been in the UFC for the longest of time, has had a trilogy with McGregor, beaten the best, gotten beaten by the best, but still always came back with a win, came back with a statement, always showed to everybody that, you know, that was just, you know, people make mistakes and you learn from the mistakes and you bounce back. I mean, that's why he's called the Diamond, because diamonds are made under pressure, and he gets put into every single possible pressure situation you can think of in the UFC, in the octagon, you know. So to get KO'd by such a powerful kick by Justin Gaethje, and then to come back, fight arguably the most dangerous up-and-comer in the 155 division, Benoit Saint-Denis, and to freaking knock him out like that, I'm just saying, this Dustin Poirier guy is next level. His skill at this point, I think, is levels above. I think it is on the level of Charles do Bronx Oliveira. It is a fucking high level of striking, of just knowledge, patience, mentality, you know, and just, you know, the more they go through the just, and seriously with Poirier, at least you can't really notice that the age is getting to him. You really can't. I know, at the end of the day, the most recent loss he did take was Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is a freaking savage, where all he needs to land is like 70% of any punch or strike, and it will probably turn the lights out on you. With that being said, Islam Makhachev is a Dagestani brother. He comes from the same camp as Khabib, got trained by Khabib's dad. I forget his name right now, but a legendary figure in MMA. That whole camp is full of legends, like up-and-coming legends, and now the current legend is Islam Makhachev that is coming out of that camp. So, I mean, it's crazy because in a way, it's like every time Islam Makhachev or any of those guys fight from that camp, it's like their legacy or their aura is on the line. You know, are they actually that scary, that undefeatable camp of just Dagestani guys that are just devout Muslims and just fucking just are so good at mixed martial arts? And that's the question, man. Is the question brought up every time, and can the white man beat one of them? And that is the ultimate question. And sorry, ladies and gentlemen, ultimately that sells the most pay-per-views. And I do think Dustin Poirier is the highest level fighter you can put up against Islam Makhachev right now. Because we all know at the end of the day, the camp, the managers, the agents, they know what they're doing. They're not going to throw Islam Makhachev against the killer of all killers. So Dustin Poirier, being at the age that he is, being at the point of his career that he is, this is it, man. This is it. Dustin gets one more proper shot. He's had this shot before. One last time he gets that shot from the UFC. And you know what? I have a feeling he's going to make it count. I honestly have a feeling this might be one of those Alexander Volkanovski, the first fight they had. Like Volkanovski versus Makhachev, that first one. It could be very similar. I'm just saying, like, if Dustin is patient, right, and kind of lets Islam kind of try to do something and then kind of counters it, anything can happen. Will he jump the ghillie? Yes, he will. Will the ghillie finish Islam Makhachev? Probably not. it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I know Islam Makhachev is gonna grapple the shit out of him. However, Dustin is one of the most accurate strikers I've ever seen. Like, it somehow seems as though he just sees like 3 strikes ahead of you and that he knows how to calculate it in the moment, throw up the combos together, and bang. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Of course, I could just say Islam Makhachev wins this, and, you know, the Dagestanis are still pretty much undefeatable. But let's just say I'm rooting for my boy Dustin all the way. I'm rooting for my Dustin. And I really do think even if Dustin wins the championship, like wins this fight, Islam could still be the 155 champ in the future again. So, look, listen, let's just keep it at that. Fuck it. I got to throw something there. Dude, round 4 TKO. Dustin Poirier. Bang. Diamonds don't fold under pressure. They're made under pressure and shit. And that's all there is in the big stages of the world. But when we go into a little bit more niche, we're still sticking to football, okay? I'm wearing the shirt right here. We got to put like football, nice little logo right there. It's all about football. And thankfully, I mean, Jesus, this just ran out of battery. And I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish this pod with this. Week 2, my Helsinki Roosters, we went against the Porvoo Butchers. 28-7 dub with the players just going off. I mean, just unbelievable. 28-7 win. Bryce Nunnally, number 10, 3 touchdowns, 7 receptions, going for 77 recorded yards. The quarterback, Ambro Uriansson, 4 touchdowns, 184 yards. The rookie, Rene Rautiainen, number 86, first career touchdown, 8 receptions, 80 yards. This guy is so effective when it comes to getting the first down. Give this motherfucker the ball if you want the first down. And lastly, Julian Bell, 1 interception, 3.5 tackles. That interception Julian made was huge because it was like one of the first times that the Butchers were going into the touchdown zone, and they could have been they could have been up already before that, but interception was made, and then the 28-0 run went ahead after that. The boys showed up, and this week is the week 3 of the season. The Roosters go against the Lohja Crusaders. Look, listen, if we play with the same energy, mix it up between number 10 and 0, Ethan Greenfield, who's a fucking crazy running back, just a workhorse when it comes to the running back position. If you mix it up between that number 10 Bryce, and then you mix it up with Ethan, bang, with their carries, easy money, and then you mix it up between number 86, number 11, and number 10 for catches, I think it should be light work. Great vibes after last week. Great vibes going into this week's matchup. Great vibes overall for Ballin' at What Cost. I'm sorry, the light, I still need to figure out the lighting system a little bit better. Maybe a little bit more of the reflection. But hey, listen, this is Ballin' at What Cost with the whiteboard, with everything else. We're making things happen. I'll see you guys next week, okay? This is very interesting. I'm so hyped for everything that's going down. UFC 302, F1, NBA playoffs. Everything is happening. Helsinki Roosters playing during the season. It's beautiful. It's the summer. It's Ballin' at What Cost, season 2024. I'm Alexi Pukanikin, and I'll see you guys next week.